Smart, educate, choose someone out, chew out. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1016 of What You Up To Now. Documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world of business. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, pretty much talk about it all here in some way, shape, or form. Today, I'm focusing on video content these days, primarily because I have vision challenges, thus the magnifying glasses everywhere in my life. I actually have lots of magnifying glasses at any given time. Can even do the color thing. Woo. I don't know. In a weird Monday mood. I freaking love Mondays. I don't know about you, but I think Mondays are awesome. I absolutely adore them. So today, on my video content creation, we talked about in the 365-day Do One Fun Thing Every Day challenge about education and the importance of education. And I shared the quote and then challenge people to talk about, are you actually living in and performing in and doing something that you specifically were educated to do? Now, if you're a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, which I'm an engineer and I'm definitely not doing any engineering right now, and I haven't been for a very long time. And that's why I'm curious, are people actually working and doing what they were trained to do in the formal education system? To me, education is just the springboard to everything else that you're going to do, be, have, and create in your life. We get a core foundation of education, yet we're learning all the time. I actually hate to say this out loud, but I feel sorry for people that get to a certain level of education and then they just decide that they're done and they don't need to learn things anymore. They're just, they stop, they're done. I was married to someone like that who thought, okay, I went to school, went to high school, went to trade school, got my, education. Now I'm done. I don't have to learn or grow or develop anything. Well, that's such a fallacy because we're always learning and growing and experiencing new things all the time. So we need to remember that our education is important, but it's just a basic thing. It's just the thing that we build upon. It's like the first block in the or the first stair in the stair step to our life, our what we're actually going to experience in our life, what we're actually going to build or create in our life. So education, I totally believe in education, but there's all different types of education, right? College degree, do I think people need to have a college degree to be successful? Frickin' A, no, right? And this is coming from someone that's got 3 degrees and went to school for a long time because I love learning and I love education. And I thought I needed all these degrees to help me create the life and the career and the businesses that I wanted. Well, lo and behold, it was cool. I learned a lot of stuff. I've applied a lot of stuff I learned just because I have the education, but it isn't because of that education that I've achieved anything that I've achieved in my life. And for most people, the vast majority of the population, that's absolutely true. It's what we do with what we know. It's what we do with what we learn. It's what we do with that education that determines our ultimate outcome and the results that we achieve. And again, the results that we want are different for each and every one of us, which is what makes the world so fun. So education was the topic of the fun challenge today. And I think education should be fun. If education is fun, guess what? Kids will learn to love learning. And if you love learning, you never stop, right? If you love something, you do it for the rest of your life. And I think if we can, in our education system, if we can imbibe kids with the love of learning, that is the purpose of our education system. More than just the skills kids are learning, it's the love of learning, because anything that they want to learn, anything they want to be, anything they want to do, anything they want to have will come from their ability to apply the things that they learn, and to know that they can learn absolutely anything and everything. Guess what? That applies to us adults too. Anything we want to do or learn, we can absolutely learn. If you would have asked me 3 years ago if I was ever going to do something online, okay, maybe 4 years ago, if I was ever going to do something online or on the internet, I would have said, hell no, because the thought of learning the new technology and then over that same period of time, I've been blind in my left eye for a long time, for decades, but my right eye took the same route as my left eye following my sudden cardiac arrest in 2010. And it was just a matter of time before it got to the point where I was legally blind. Well, that happened, geez, a couple of years ago now. I haven't driven even for a couple of years. I haven't done a lot of things for a couple of years because my vision is not what it used to be. It's not, I mean, with one eye you can do a whole lot. With 2 bad eyes, it's interesting. It's just a new set of challenges. And to me, it's a new set of challenges. Does it suck some days? Absolutely, positively. But am I going to let it stop me? Not going to stop me. If I haven't let some of the other stuff that's happened to me stop me, I'm certainly not going to let, vision challenges stop me. Absolutely, positively not. Might have to get someone else to, do some things for me, but I'm not going to let it stop me from creating and doing and being and having the things that I want to create in this world. So, education. Love education. I'm always learning, guys. Even though I can't see very well, I do reading challenges. I have a friend, Abel Beckford, that does these incredible 30-day reading challenges. If you want to skyrocket your skills in your career and achieve your goals faster than you ever think possible, you need to be a reader. Why? Because if you're reading stuff, you're learning it. And I'm not talking about reading what's going on in the economy or the environment online, unless you're an economist. I'm talking about, or listening to the news or following the news. I'm talking about actually, I don't even have a book here just because I'm saying that. I'm talking about actually picking up a book and reading it and thinking about what you read and saying, how might this apply to my life? How can I use this? Which is part of why I do every single day. And I started to do it for fun, an idiom a day. I share an idiom a day in my Supersize Your Business group. Why? Because it's the same reason people do a word of the week or a word of the month or a word of the day. It's because we focus on how we can apply that, what it means to us. We focus on the skills that it's helping us, the things and the ways it's helping us learn to look to, number one, be more open. Number two, learn and think about how these things can apply or could apply to our business. And even if they're not impacting us individually, specifically, guess what? Some of these idioms have been around for hundreds of years. And I guarantee that you might not have been personally impacted by an idiom or an expression, but somebody else that you're interacting with on a regular basis absolutely positively has. And that's one of the reasons you want to think about things. You want to think about the world from other people's perspectives sometimes. Every once in a while, we need to get out of our little purple bubble of protection and we need to say, well, how might other people view this? Why would they be thinking that way? How are they thinking that way? And if I serve them as customers or in relationships in any way, shape, or form, how do I want to be more empathetic? How do I want to understand why they might see things differently than I do? Anyway, ranting. So, chew someone out was the idiom for today that we talked about, and how you can, in a positive way, give people feedback versus chewing them out. And that we always want to talk about the performance and the results and the task at hand, never the person. And unfortunately, at least here in the United States, our media has been setting such a horrific example of how not to behave and how not to perform, and how to perform in ways that are in only your own best interest, but they're definitely not in the best interest of your customers, the people that you serve. They're doing things for money and greed and ratings, not for what's right or what's honest or true or anything. I studied journalism when I was younger, and I was actually, when I went to college, I picked my college because I was going to go into journalism. I wanted to be a journalist. And I am so grateful, literally so grateful, that I chose to go down the engineering route and chose to do a different career path, because I am actually ashamed, literally ashamed of what we're calling news nowadays. It's not news, people. And if you think it is, rude awakening. It is opinions. It is editorializing. It is bullying. It is mean. It is ridiculous on all fronts. And it is being used as a brainwashing tool for the American people, which is something I thought I would never say, something I thought I would never see, much less would I observe and say. So I say, hey, wake up, turn off the TV, turn off the social media, think for yourself, do some research, and not watching the news, the not news, the opinions and the crap that's on television that's purporting to be news, the CNN, the CBS, the any network, any station, Fox included, people, is absolutely a crock of, poo-poo. And so keep that in mind when you're forming your opinions and fighting with people on social media or anything. Now, I say this coming from a perspective of, I stopped watching the news in 1980, the late 1980s. I don't remember the exact year, but as part of a training with Procter & Gamble, who I was working for at the time, awesome training, they challenged us to go 1 week without watching TV, not watching the news, turning it off. And for me, it worked. It stuck. It's like, I was happier. I felt better. And that was back when in the late 80s, there were still channels that were actually reporting the news. I mean, the facts, the who, what, where, when, why, and how, and not how you should think about or their opinion on the facts, the slant of the facts. No, they've always done headlines to get people's attention, right? News has always done that. But there's a difference between a factual headline to get attention and a twisted interpretation of events. That's why I always go right to the source. If I want to know what President Trump or former Vice President Joe Biden say, I don't go and listen to the news spinning what they think that they heard or said or what they want us to think. I go to and watch the full presentation and I interpret it for myself. Well, this is what I heard. And what I like about today's technologies, I can go back and forth and I can re-listen to the same thing again and say, what do I think about this? What do I say about this? What do I think about this performance? What do I think is really going on here? What message am I actually hearing? And I actually analyze it and think about it for myself. Oh my God, novel approach. What an idea. Actually watching the whole real clip and thinking for ourselves. When do we become this society of cliff notes where we need the news and the media and comments on social media and the big media companies like Twitter, Facebook, Google, I'm talking about you, to tell us how things work and how things are and what to think about them. The censorship and the crap that's going on in this country is absolutely appalling. And if you don't think it's appalling and if you don't think it's going on, you're obviously living under a rock, or you've already been subjected to the absolute positive media brainwashing that's going on. And I say, oh my God, wake up, quit the spinning eyes and think for yourself. All of us are amazing, incredible human beings, and we have the ability to think for ourselves. And I think it's insulting that politicians think and that the media thinks that we need to be told what to think, what to believe, who to follow, and what to pay attention to. It's absolutely ludicrous, and it's such a manipulated mess. I'm sad to say that I can't believe more people don't see it. All right, that's my rant for today. I guess I'm chewing myself out for getting sucked into any of the nonsense that's been going on. It seems like every 4 years when there's a presidential election, I pretty much ignore politics. You know, here's things here and there because I don't watch the news and their interpretation of stuff. I pretty much ignore politics, but sometimes the noise and the energy gets so loud that you end up getting pieces and bits of it. And so then I find myself having to go, okay, well, let me find the source of this. Let me see the speech. Let me see the whole presentation. Don't give me the 1 second soundbite that presents the story the way you want it to be, because that's not reporting. That's not news. That's just propaganda. And guess what? I feel very sad that America has become a country that is 100% influenced by propaganda and absolute positive bullshit. I said it. It's absolute bullshit. So enough of that. Have an awesome day. I love Mondays. Obviously, I get a little wound up on Mondays. Have fun. Have an awesome day. I have got a book to write this week. I did nothing on it this weekend because I had other things going on, but I promised I would get it done by Friday. So guess what I'm doing today? Processing my videos, getting that book hammered and nailed out. All right. Have a great day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. I probably won't help you till next week. Let's be honest, because I got to get my book done. Bye. Take care.